an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. When you let your nuts hang. We got some friends in the Twitch stream. Hey, shout out to everybody in the Twitch. I want to let y'all introduce y'all to Miss Michael Williams.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
y'all might recognize her voice, but y'all don't recognize the face. She has been on our show before.
I have. I'm a celebrity in the internet world. Maybe not great,
Yeah,
but still.
yeah.
You know,
So I was on live doing a reaction to a video, and it was her daughter.
hmm
And then Kayla reached out. Was it Kayla reached out?
Kayla reached out.
Kayla reached out, and Kayla called in. Then you called in. So it was an interesting story.
It was a lot. It was a lot. We went through a lot. The public was going crazy about it. It became viral. All the things you don't want to happen as a mother in your family, but it happened, and we've moved past it. Brianna's back with her boo, and we're going to have moved forward. It just is what it is. What we thought was going to happen happened, and now we're
Yeah,
on to other things. But I just know that everything comes to light, and that's all I cared about. Just
right,
making
right.
sure everybody's good in a good place and good position.
Well, you are in a great position. Tell us. This is gonna be my new co-host. Okay.
Ooh, if
You
things
know,
work out, if I like you, I like you. I don't know. The jury's still out.
y'all take it easy on.
Don't hurt me.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself as an introduction.
Okay. Well, I was born in Los Angeles, California. I actually came to Atlanta, where I am now, in 19. I think started in 1999. I lived in Atlanta 11 years. I lived in Tennessee a few years, kind of back and forth. I loved the South. I'm just a Southern girl now. You might
Mm,
hear an accent. However, I don't think I have an accent, but people tell me I do, which is strange because I was born in LA and I had an accent then. So I don't know
mm,
what that's all about. But anyway, I have I've been doing real estate investing. So I have, multiple properties. I own Airbnb. I do tax liens. I, have a fleet of Turo cars. I don't know if you guys have heard of Turo, where you're
mm-hmm.
able to get the cars and rent them out. I have a fleet of those. Um, and I'm a coach now because I've been so successful in what I do that I teach others, how to gain time and financial freedom. So,
Yep. And we're gonna be on that soon because I'm gonna tell you I just paid off a bunch of my credit cards, so I'm
yes.
trying to. My next thing is because I had to put furniture in my house, but
The goal is
the
not to
goal
use your
is
own credit. Everything I
yeah.
do in my LLC, I set up my LLC. I built over $200,000 worth of business credit. Then I started buying property. So nothing's in my name. So if I ever wanted to walk away or had an issue, my credit's not affected. I still keep my credit high because it doesn't go against that. So I teach people how to do these things so that they can build a legacy, put stuff in a trust. All their stuff is protected, their assets from marriage, from divorce, from death, from all these things. So you don't have to go to probate. That's a whole nother story. But these are the things that I teach because it's important from our community. We don't, what I noticed in our community, we do not empower each other. You got all these other communities that are out here and they're uplifting each other. They're generationally setting each other up. We're not doing that. And so my goal is to teach others, especially our community, how to get to that next level so that we can be financially free as well and leave a legacy for the next generation, which we tended not to do in the past. So that's something I want to change.
Mm, absolutely. Well, you're
Yes.
doing a great job. That's why we got you here. So
Thank you. Thank
maybe after we get ratchet, then we can talk business.
you. Get ratchet. I'm a lady.
Mix a little bit of both. No,
Just a little bit. I'm from LA, but I get a little bit, but still, I do both. I do a mix. I stay classy too.
she gonna start crip hopping on the stream next. All right.
Crazy. You're
So let's
crazy.
get to this first reaction. We're
I
gonna talk
know.
about we got a situation that happened out of Chicago where a mother and her kids were jumped by a group of middle schoolers. So let's
Jumped.
got jumped.
I'm from old school. We don't do jumping, but I want to see this. We never did jumping. It was one on one. That was it.
1-on-1.
One on one. That's how I grew up. If you jump people, you was a coward. That's how we grew up in LA. But let's see. Let's see.
All right, so a mother and her two kids were walking home from school. Apparently, this kid has been getting bullied for the past 2 years at the school. Then, what happened?
So the kid was getting bullied. So what happened? The kid talked back, or what made the kids jump her?
That story I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think that story has came out why the bullying started. I believe it started in elementary because they all look like maybe sixth graders that just came out of elementary school, and they don't like the boy. We're gonna hear in the video. Let's hear the video, and I think you can hear it like the boy, like them calling out the boy trying to fight.
I don't know if you guys know, and y'all probably don't, but I'm really big on not bullying. I started a bullying organization with my daughter, Lulu. She got bullied in school and it went viral. Sierra and Tyra Banks reached out, and we're really big on this. So this is probably gonna trigger me. It's probably gonna be a trigger because I hate bullies.
You're gonna start swinging at the
right, and people are bullies online nowadays, which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't see how people can let people bully them online because you can't even touch. You can't touch me. But I
call them keyboard warriors. Keyboard. Yeah. They're tough in on behind a screen. But let's go. Let's see this because maybe.
Come on, blood. Shamar looking at. Shamar.
And that's her and her mother.
Come here. What you want, Shamar?
That's the mother and the kids right there.
Shamar, what you want, Shamar? Shamar looking at. Come on. Look at them ankles, boy. Shamar looking at. Junior. Hey, fool, don't touch my brother, fool.
Oh, hell no, those ankles ashy as fuck.
Look at them bitches, bad crackhead. Other bitch, Mari. That's his ass. That's his ass. Oh my God, the little kids in there, not the big kids. The big kids not touching them. I'm saying the little kids. Also, smash that bitch on my brother. Damn! Crack! Damn! Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my motherfucking homie go. Beat his ass, yo! Damn, boy! Damn! They working it! Damn! Oh my God! Dang!
Let us speak.
All right. Before we get into so this next scene is them coming back to the school after the fight happened. So what do you take from that first scene?
Well, Again, like I was saying, first of all, where are the parents? Because where's the father? Where's the parents? Where's the aunties? Listen, I would be right up there on the steps too. But before even I get to that, it's really, really disheartening to see the stuff I see, the kids cursing at adults. We weren't allowed to do that. We had a community. To me, I feel like nowadays you don't have, how you have the village. When we were growing up, you had the village. You couldn't curse at Grandma Dorothy or Aunt this or that. Everybody gonna take you and whoop your behind. So I'm kind of confused how this can be allowed to escalate that long, because I feel like if he was a bullying victim, did his mother go to the school? That's one. There's so many questions as well. Did his mother go to the school? Did she report this? Was there anybody to step in and kind of help facilitate communication between the kids, even before it got this far? And so why are they walking behind the kids? There's nobody around the school. There's no crossing guards or, school staff out that can possibly intervene. There's so many opportunities. She has a baby with her. She's pregnant. There's things that could have hurt her fetus. There's a lot of questions I have about why this was allowed to build, because I would like to see the history, before I even base much judgment on that. I want to see the history. Where were these kids? Where were they in relationship to when the bullying started? Were they all a part of it, or is this just some new group attacking the mom? I just can't. I can't imagine it. I'm not gonna say I will swing on some kids, but I am gonna say you are not about to attack me and my family. I'm like a lioness. I've told you that before. I'm a lioness about my kids. I've been on TV and the news, all kinds of stuff. But I just feel like this lady felt helpless. You could see like she was helpless. She didn't swing. She didn't touch these kids. If she would have, they would have had her locked up. And that's the crazy part. If she was swung on one of them, they'd have locked her up, which is so crazy because you can't even defend yourself. One thing I noticed from my kids getting bullied at different times in school is when you fight back, they lock you up. They put you both in alternative school and say, now you're the aggressor too. So there's so many questions I have, but it just all doesn't make sense to me. But I'm looking at society and I'm seeing bullies online and social media. And so, it's all filtering down to our youth. It's definitely filtering down to the kids.
Yeah, I would definitely put hands on some kids. But so she's not pregnant.
She wasn't pregnant?
Mm-mm. So she has been in and out of the hospital, and whatever she's been, it's caused her stomach to blow.
Oh, okay.
So that's why a lot of people did think she was pregnant from this initial video.
Yeah, because she was like holding her stomach, but my apologies. I don't ever want to assume.
But everybody did, because it was like pregnant woman get jumped by and she was. So then she has like sickle cell, and so she's been in and out of the hospital for the last 3 months. Her kid's been bullied. I think she has went to the school several times. They haven't done anything, and it's just been an ongoing situation that she's had to. This ain't the first time that they've approached her, but this is the first time that they actually put their hands on her.
When I was growing up, we didn't have as many bullies, and the reason why is because the first person to hit, the first person to swing, that's the people who would get in trouble. They'd be suspended, they'd suffer the consequences. But I've noticed when my kids are coming up and you have bullies, if you fight back now, you are considered an aggressor once you swing. And that's crazy to me, because you got some kids who are being bullied for months and their parents are telling, and you're going to the principal. I've done it all. I've gone to the principal. I cussed the principal out so bad at one of my kids' school. They put a restraining order out on me because I told you I don't play about my kids. And so I'm going to the school and I'm like, listen, this is happening. They're like, well, just tell the teacher. So I would do that. Tell the teacher, stay calm. But kids these days, and even adults nowadays in society, take kindness or they take silence as weakness, which is crazy to me. And so unfortunately, these kids are sitting there attacking because they're not getting a reaction. It's like you're building up for a reaction nowadays. Even on social media, we see that people will hit you up just to try to get a reaction out of you. And I don't know where that comes from. But back then, we go, you want to fight? Let's go down to the store. As long as we got at school, we're not gonna get in trouble. I've done that several times coming up. Let's go to Albertson's parking lot.
They get a reaction out of you because
it's done.
They get a reaction out of you because they want to. Like, they want to be like, oh, look at, especially like if you're a big content creator, if they get you to say something crazy back to them, they'll be like, oh, look how he talks to his, be like, what?
So now like I said, you're the aggressor now. Mm-hmm. Now you're the problem. If you have a reaction, you're the problem. That's gaslighting and that's narcissism. So when people do that to you, oh, you had a reaction to something I did, now you're wrong. And I think this whole society, including people higher up, are very narcissistic, and now that's become the norm. But I hate to see stuff like this, whether she had a medical condition, she was pregnant, whatever. She's trying to protect her kids, and these kids they have no heart. I don't even know, like, are we raising our kids? I know a lot of people who are working jobs and they're not focused. But one thing I've noticed that's a piece that's missing is just teaching them kindness, teaching people compassion, teaching kids how to, love each other and be kind and decent people. Like, we're not even teaching that anymore. Just go to school, get your education. Hopefully you get old enough to get up out of my house type thing. We're not even teaching the basics, and we're not modeling that either as parents. So I definitely blame a lot of the parents for this too.
We're going to get into the accountability of one of the parents, and I want to say that I don't think a lot of these parents are having conversations with their kids. They might talk to them. They might, hey, how's your day? But if you don't know that your kid is capable of doing something like this, you don't talk to your kid enough, or you don't know what's going on in your kid's school, because kid is just going around beating up parents just randomly.
This is not the first time that they've acted aggressively, and they don't even know what's going on, because you got your life, you're trying to work, I understand all that, but at the same time, you got to check in. Your kids on their phone, what are they looking at? What are they watching? Are they watching fights? Because sometimes that builds aggression. What are your kids viewing? Are you even monitoring their social media?
Baddies.
Is there bullying going on? My son, he was getting he at one point he had a grown man, and this is a whole other story, but in his inbox trying to talk to him. He was 14 years old. And he was just like, I'm not gay, I'm not gay, I'm not gay. And these men were persistent. And I would go in their inbox and be like, hey, I'm going to tell your wife, you keep inboxing my 15-year-old son. Not only am I going to call the police on you, but I'm going to tell your wife. And I would go in. My son got, he would get bullied. And so we would tell them, hey, talk to the people. But after a while, he beat them up. My kids always ended up doing that. And then they're going to alternative school and all this stuff. So now you're putting both of them in a box of bad kids that don't listen because you're trying to fight back. I think there should be some kind of way to resolve this within schools, because they are, and I swear this has been my thing for years, the schools are creating bullies. They are creating bullies by protecting the bullies. When the victim fight back, they're creating the bullies because they don't got nothing to lose. They probably already got bad grades, already got a bad record, and then they're bullying these little kids with good grades who are trying. And then now because I fought back, now I'm in suspension, and now I have a ding on my record. And that's not fair. That's not fair to the good kids who are really trying, and the parents who are trying to raise them right.
Let's get into the second part of this video. Then we're gonna hear from the parents. One of the kids went live on Facebook and apologized.
Girl, look here.
I can't see it.
Hey, she gonna talk. Let's hear what you gotta say. This is gonna be noise. I'm trying to go live. Okay. All right. That's it.
jumped all of us.
So now we wait.
Just jumped all of us. So I asked my kids to come to the next side of the street so they wouldn't get jumped. So we kept walking, they followed us all the way.
How you feel now? Why are you doing this? Do you want to die?
I think we got a better version of this.
Okay, while you're pulling that up, let me.
You bitch.
While you're pulling that up, I want to say one thing. I've noticed that when it comes to, like I said, they're creating bullies, but a lot of the parents, you got a lot of young parents. And I'm not saying that teenage mothers are, have an issue, but I was a teenage mother, and I had kids young, but you got a lot of young mothers that are raising kids, and they're still kids themselves. So their kids are getting a lot of their anger and a lot of their rage. And even though I was a teenage mother, I was more like a mini adult. Like we had our house, we had a car, we had all the things to be able to do those, to kind of be an adult about the situation. But I've noticed that the parents, especially teachers, if you're a teacher, you understand that parents are coming up cussing the teachers out. They're coming up telling them, you can't say this to my kid, you can't talk to my kid like this my kid. That's, in the old days, we were allowed to get disciplined by everybody. And it wasn't to say that they're trying to beat you or put you down, but people who love you, are going to should be able to correct you. And once you start, as a parent, taking away the ability of others to correct your kids, including teachers, then what you're doing now is setting your kid up to be a menace. And that's how I feel about it. Go to school. You don't do that. Most teachers are saying it's not the kids that are as much the problem now, it's the parents, because they coming up to school cussing us out, telling us this, that, and the other. So now, what are you expecting the kids to do now? They're out of control because the parents are out of control.
Yeah, because can't nobody say nothing to my kid. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but because when some kids was bullying my daughter at they was trying to bully my daughter, and I told the principal, I said, bro, I'm the real bully. So if you wanna have an issue, I suggest you correct it, or I'm gonna come up here, because I find their parents. I don't have no problem with it. Like, I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets. I gang bang.
Same. I didn't gang bang, but I dated gang bangers.
Man,
I know how it is. My dad was a pimp and a drug dealer. I told you about this. Like, we had, there was so many codes I learned as a kid. My dad talked to us freely as adults, even when we were kids. But one thing that my dad can't stand is a bully. I've seen my dad knock a lot of people out. The last time he got the gym shut down because he goes to play ball and all that stuff. So and the reason why, because this big dude was bullying this little dude, and my dad jumped up out the bleachers. He's like, I don't play about bullies. It's one thing about if you're, you got a one-on-one, you're arguing with somebody, but if you're going and intimidating somebody younger, smaller, and more vulnerable than you, or it's a group of you guys against one person, to me, and to my dad, and to the old school, that's cowardice. It is. You're a coward. And I feel like more people need to raise their kids with that understanding. Like, let's talk about it. Let's have communication. Let's learn how to work out issues. And they're not doing it. They're not doing it anymore in these day and age.
Well, I don't think the kids are listening either. Like, there's a miscommunication between parents, because a lot of parents are like friends. We're not our parents. We are trying to be what our parents weren't to us, because we feel like, oh, we need to be more acceptable to what's going on so we can understand, so we can talk to them. But then at the same time, we enabling a bunch of the bullshit that they be doing, because you see these parents that do be going out there fighting with their kids. I mean, it's been happening for longer, but it's more, it's more and more happening, as generations.
Let me speak on that too, because I was a speaker in the schools for 8 years. I spoke in the junior highs, and we went to the worst schools. I never had a discipline problem. I never had any kids disrespect me because number one, they knew I cared. And so if they know you care genuinely, then the kids are like, man, let me tell you this and let me tell you that what's going on in my house. And so I dealt with that a lot. Like kids coming to me, like, my parents don't listen, they doing this, they at the club, they're doing this. I heard it all. And so a lot of it I saw was a result of just not being parented. They had parents, but they weren't being parented. And so I think that was one of my things was like, okay, how do we get, that's why with my kids, I had 6 kids, but I had 15 kids because their friends were at my house and I raised them and their friends because their parents were smoking out. Their parents were doing this, their parents were doing that. So we had them at our house and they grew up under our watch. So now everybody calls me mama too, you know? But getting back to my point of us being speakers in the schools and sitting there talking to these kids, man, what I've learned is that kids rise to the level of your expectation or they lower themselves to your expectations. So if you come in, you ain't gonna be nothing like your mom, your daddy, you're never gonna be this, you're never gonna be that. Okay, that could be a possibility that you're instilling in them. But if you come in and you're telling your kid, hey, I think you can be this and I see greatness in you and I see that, the kids gravitate towards that. So it's all about what you're pouring into them and it's about showing them that you love them and being concerned. A lot of angry kids out here. A lot of angry kids don't feel seen. They don't feel heard. They don't feel loved. They tell me this after I'm in their school for 3 days. They're like, can we go to your house? Can you be our teacher permanently? Nobody cares about us. They tell me that. So they angry. And that's what says, for me, it's the parenting. They're not getting the parenting. Because if they feel loved and they feel esteemed, this stuff to them will be wrong. They'll know this as wrong. But because they're left for social media and Facebook to train them on how to be adults, then to them, this is perfectly acceptable. They might watch 15 fights a day on social media.
Yep, social media baddies. They know they got the mama log into the TV, and you watch these Zeus Network and stuff like that, and they think that's that stuff is not acceptable. Like that's not how y'all supposed to operate. But
because these days, attention is what means you're accepted. If you post a picture, if you're a kid and people dislike it, you're gonna take that picture down. You might have loved that picture, but you'll take it down because 15 people said they didn't like it. It's all about acceptance of what other people like. That's what this society has become. And so they think it's cool. You got 15 million likes because I had a fight with somebody that beat this kid down. You don't understand what you're doing to the next person. You're hurting yourself and you're hurting the next person.
You right.
Likes.
Okay. Okay, so this is an update, y'all. I want y'all to meet Kamira. She is one of the children that was a part of the fight at OT Bright School on yesterday. We're just coming live so she can say her piece and take accountability. I won't say too much. And please, anyone that decides to say anything, keep it respectful. This is the child.
She about to smile.
My name is Kamira Grant. I was wrong.
Oh, now it's embarrassing.
Yeah, she's crying now.
It's okay.
For everything that I did. And I was just being a follower. Following everybody who don't even got nothing that I got. And I apologize for everything because I wouldn't want to be in that situation. And I feel bad because I gotta go through so much. I wish I would never be alive.
Do you have anything to say? I think her name is Shauna.
I was a bit
Crocodile tears.
So what's your thought on that? Oh, that's her again.
Yeah, I think
What is your
this.
thought?
Um, I just gotta say, like, I okay, you got an apology, but really, the only time I would accept that apology is if I see changed behavior. But first, you got to get punished. What you did was wrong. We don't get to sweep it under the rug. You and your friends recorded this. This is gang activity. The mother, I got another video where she explains. She talks about, the daughter is in cheerleading and got good grades and all that stuff. But then that's when I talk about, well, mother, you know that she got all this, but do you know her friends who she hanging around? Are you monitoring her when she walks home from school? I know my daughter on the school bus, but the fact that my daughter's at basketball, I know that. But when she's on the school bus, I'm checking
Yes.
because if it's raining, I'm out there. If it's cold, I'm out there to pick her up. So I'm monitoring what's going on, and she don't. I mean, she know that I got a location, but she don't know what I'm doing to make sure that she's safe. So that's with so much technology out here. What are y'all kids doing to make sure that your kid is safe or doing what they supposed to do? Not saying
Yes.
that this will prevent a fight, but when when you know your kid is walking home from school and you know what they doing, you be like, what's taking you so long to get home?
Yeah.
You still out here. You supposed to get home, do your homework. But and that those little things could prevent that a kid because they know that their parent is watching. They could prevent the bull crap.
And for me, I think that, when I'm looking at it, I love the fact that she's apologizing. I mean, and trying to take accountability. But also, all of these kids need to have consequences. They all need to have consequences until they all apologize. Like I said, my daughter, she was involved in a bullying incident in school. Some boys placed a bet, ripped her wig off. She had scalp problems that caused her to lose hair, and she was exposed in front of the school. It was embarrassing. She, screamed. They left the school. It was a big deal, and they gave these boys a slap on the wrist. What kind of punishments are they being given? Because once I found out they had a slap on the wrist, I went up there. Of course, I acted a fool, but I called the news. I did all that, and it went viral. Tyra Banks reached out, Sierra reached out, and it became a big thing because my daughter was humiliated. She shaved her head bald, but she overcame that. She went back to school with her head bald. She was looking beautiful. She was like, "You're not going to control my narrative or my story." And again, we started a bullying organization because kids all over the world started writing us saying, "This is going on. I'm watching 8-year-olds commit suicide. I'm watching 9-year-olds hang themselves. I'm watching 10-year-olds shoot themselves." And that's a big consequence. You think it's cool. You want to fight. You want to argue, but you don't understand what these people are going through on a daily basis, especially as a child who's looking for love and acceptance. And so I think for me, just the apology is cool, but what are the consequences? Everybody should be able to know that. What are they being made to do? Are they being made to write letters? Are they getting community service? Are they getting suspended from the school? And I don't say that you should throw the book at them and be crazy with these kids, but you're going to have to teach them. This is the time to have teachable moments. Because if you just, we're punishing them and throwing them away, and everybody's on the media torturing them, they're not really going to learn the lesson on how to act in future conflicts. So we as adults, and I wish we did this more often as adults, when conflict happens, how do we teach them to communicate? How do we teach them to resolve their issues in a way that doesn't escalate to violence? And so I think that's the bigger lesson is how do we keep these kids from doing this again if the opportunity presents itself? And that's the biggest lesson as parents we should learn. Like, what is our strategy to keep this from happening again? Instead of, I was looking at the girl apologizing, it's all the laughy faces, all the angry faces. But what are we doing? People are like, this generation is lost. Well, what are you doing? Are you volunteering to work with youth There's some kids that are angry. They don't have a dad in the home. They got a lot of things going on. Are you going up there and spending your time helping the youth or building them up or speaking in the schools or doing all these things because you're worried and concerned about our youth? No, we're just sitting back and going, these youth don't know nothing and going on about our life. But what are we doing to change the narrative so they become the next generation of responsible adults? Or are we just creating a bunch of entitled narcissists?
Oh, we're creating a bunch of entitled narcissists. I mean, and then, you know, the worst part about it is, hopefully I can find this video. Hopefully it's the next one. But the mother thinks her daughter's an angel, and this was the one who threw the first punch. So
I saw that. That was a tall girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that her?
Yeah.
With the headphones on?
Yeah, with the headphones on.
Okay.
So that's the stuff that gets me. It's like, okay, I'm glad the mother she did put, and actually all the kids need to be put on video, because they didn't have no problem videoing that woman and her children and embarrassing them. That little kid in the yellow that was slinging that boy around is a bully. He gonna be in prison. And they be like, be easy on them. They gonna be kids. No, absolutely not. You are raising hoodlums. We know how Chicago is. We see it on TV. That's why the National Guard is out there. And then even with the National Guard out there, y'all still acting fools. The National Guard leaving. Look what happened.
And see, this is what I think. I think that we need to teach our kids humility, and how to, like the apology. That's important. For me, even it's important as an adult. Don't try to humiliate me publicly and then apologize to me privately.
Yeah.
If you're going to humiliate me publicly, let's do this apology publicly, because that's the only way that we're going to resolve it. And I think a lot of people, they do that in this society. Yeah, I'm caught cussing this person out, but then they come to you privately. Oh, you know what I mean? I didn't mean that I love you. Nah, let's do it the same way we did it.
Yeah, it'd be the people on social media that, like, they'll cuss you out on social media. Then
hey man, I was tripping.
I was drinking and all your excuses. Now get back on here. Let's see what this next video is. What they talking about on this next video?
Okay.
And this is in the hospital. This is the mother.
Oh.
Wait, I fucking told mistake.
I don't know what she's doing.
Right. Is she singing? Maybe she's just showing herself. Oh, that's her son. Showing his scars, and her daughter. Oh. They're so cute. And she had to stand outside and watch all that. That's traumatizing.
I mean, y'all might have to go home because they might discharge y'all. But me, I might have to stay due to me who's already sick already.
She going through it.
Mm-hmm. Did you say she has sickle cell?
Y'all, I'm not pregnant. It just looked like that on that video. I'm not pregnant. But I do have 2 kids.
No, God, she's not pregnant. Ryan, not you just talking.
She's not pregnant.
Shut up, just not you.
Her lip is swollen.
I don't know if that's that or what. I think the left side is. That's sad. And them babies are like,
You just have so much.
They're trying to comfort her.
What?
Goddess, what you got? Continue to cover up. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice.
I I think this is a better version of, or
No
better
justice,
hearing
no peace.
what she got to say when, because we couldn't hear her from
You
the
got
other
it. You want
video.
to talk to the? Say something to the camera. I got over 9,000 people on here. They from all states, baby. They here to support us here, baby.
We here for you, baby.
We got you, baby. Scoot over some for me, right there. No justice.
Let us speak.
Hold on.
So you just be advised I'm walking out.
You on the court, sir? You on the court? Your foot on the court.
Hey, she gonna talk. She gonna
Let's hear
talk.
what she gotta say.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Go ahead, baby. Can I take it? I don't think it's.
God, what?
Baby, God is with you, God. Continue to come
I
on.
don't know
Did
what
it?
No.
I think everybody, we've all seen the video. Everybody's been sharing it. The public outcry is definitely there, and we're all on the same accord that it was. We want. I think more so than anything, we want everybody to understand that this is a child. All of them children that was in that video was children. Some of them, not all of them, may have families, but this baby here, she has a family that cares, that loves her, that has held her accountable. She understands what is going on, and I don't expect her to speak. We do not expect her to speak as we are going to speak because she's a child. What grade are you in, Kamira?
8th.
She's in 8th grade.
What grades do you get?
8s and B's, and I was homecoming queen. I'm the captain of the cheerleading team.
No, this baby, as well as all the other babies that's in that video, are very much our future. So if we laughing at them, we laughing at ourselves. So we want to make sure that we check that and that we be present, and that those people that are not on the ground, those people that are scared of our young kids, that we get out here and we touch them, that we let them know that we hear, that we got something to say, that we care about them, that they have more resources than they know, and that we are available to them. I think.
All right.
So I am not going to talk crazy about a child because I also know that their brains aren't fully developed. Not only that, what I learned when I was teaching kids in the schools is that the frontal lobe part of their brain that is actually known for making decisions that are based on consequences is very underdeveloped in kids of this generation. And the reason why is because back in the day, parents would take you, they would make you work, you'd help with chores, you'd help with household, you'd get jobs, you did all these things, and you had to be a part of the economy of the family. These days, we got kids playing video games all day, and they're kind of like spaced out and not totally with what's all going on. So they haven't had a chance to develop that part of their brain that teaches them consequences. You know, when I spoke in the schools, we'd sit there and tell them, hey, what do you want to be in your life? And they'd go, oh, I want to be a basketball player. I want to be this. I want to be that. And we'd say, okay, what happened if you get a girl pregnant during that time? You want to be a basketball player. What's going to happen? You know, or what happened if you get in a drunk driving accident and kill somebody on the way to be in that, whatever you want to be? And then they'd have to think. And they didn't know how to think like that. And so my thought is, I understand, like, they got a family and they're supporting their child, but support them to the point where you still understand that they've done wrong and that and still they're going to be held accountable. But you also take this again as a learning lesson to teach your kids how to be more compassionate, how to understand, you know, society doesn't just operate on us and our feelings and what we think and we feel. There's a community out here, and we got to be minded. What I would do with my kids when they were growing up, let's volunteer. I'd make them volunteer in elderly old folks homes, etc. So I'm not going to have my kid up there beating up some old person when they're 18 because they never understood how to love on people. So as a child, when my kids were growing up, we always put them in social environments where they had to go and help people. Younger people, I made them babysit. I made them watch pets. I made them learn, so they understand compassion. And I think people are so minded about themselves, and I just want to make sure you don't touch my kid. But teach your kid to love and be respectful of others, and then things like this will happen less often. You can be a cheerleading captain, you can be a homecoming queen, but if you don't got good and love in your heart, then you're going to grow up to be a bitter, angry woman, and that's what we don't want. We want to prevent her from making bad choices later because she doesn't know how to make good choices because that part of her brain isn't developed. Let's get those things developed. Let's put our kids in courses that teach life skills. I had developed a program in Tennessee where we were like, let's teach our kids, let's teach boys how to tie a tie. Let's teach them how to change a tire. Let's teach the girls how to clean a kitchen. We don't do none of that. Our parents aren't doing that. So who's doing it? Who's making the next generation of husbands and wives? Or are we even teaching them that they got to be married? Or it don't matter?
I don't think that matters, but
it doesn't matter not today.
Because especially if you watching social media, it's like these kids see so much on social media that they think it's the social norm, and it's really it's becoming norm, but it's not. The way we live is not. Man, do you know people really take? I be putting a bunch of memes on Instagram. People really think that that's their life. It's just what
they do.
What I post on here is that makes me who I am, and that it doesn't make you who you are. Now you can post a thoughtful quote, but are you living by that?
I agree.
Are you and then not only that, once you disconnect from social media, what are you doing? Are you the same stuff that you will post on social media, are you going to put that into your kids? Are you gonna take that same energy, have that same energy where I don't fuck with you? You gonna have that for your family, or you gonna try to do something good for you? Because everybody got a sister that they probably. Because my sister, we don't, shit be different. But same. I know how when I could post a meme that'd be like, I only fuck with you on a level because I know the level you on. And that's how I had to treat my sister. But I'll be like, I still love you. But see, can I come to you and meet you where you at? And I know you confrontational to where we can have a simple conversation, and then I'm gonna just leave it at that. But sometimes we can't even do that with our own people. And then we put this shit on social media like, oh, I'm just a healed person. I'm this spiritual person. Oh, wow.
I'm gonna tell you what my dad taught me. My dad raised me. I was raised by a father, and I would tell you, he taught me your family is not the people that are tied to you by blood. It's the people that love you and care about you and esteem you and treat you with kindness and respect. And I've always carried that with me. I don't care who you are. If you don't love me, if you don't honor me, because I'm going to do that to you. If I love you, I'm going to take care of you. Hey, how you doing? I'm going to be trying to make sure you're all good. I'm going to go out of my way to try to help you with things. I'm going to uplift you and build you up. But if you hate me or treat me bad, then I got to pull myself away from you. I don't care who you are in my life. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care, mother, father, sister, brother. I will do that. I will remove myself, and I'll still love you because God tells me to forgive. I'll still love you. I'll still forgive you. Even if you don't ask for it. But then I'm not going to keep putting myself in a position to be hurt and to be damaged. And so sometimes we got to set boundaries, and a lot of us don't do that either. And we're not teaching our kids to set boundaries. For us, we went and told our kids, hey, if somebody's bullying you, tell the teacher, tell the teacher, tell the teacher. But eventually it's like you guys as schools aren't even protecting our kids. Some of them. Some of them
what if your kid is a bully?
And that's a good question. That's why I think we're not teaching our kids enough about empathy. We're not teaching them love. They're looking at dad beating mom. mom beating this, so they're not developing those things. We got to set a better example at home so that our kids don't think bullying is acceptable. And second of all, we got to teach them, like, by making them volunteer and go out in the community and understand and be empathetic of others, how to act in society as a world. It's not just about them. Some people, we're letting the world revolve around one kid, and that kid's thinking they're the most special thing in the world, and then they get out there and that world hit them in the face and they're shocked. So we got to develop that in them. And third, we got to just make sure that our kids understand that there are consequences to our actions. So when we go violate and go outside of what's right and what, how they should be acting, then they're going to have to learn that lesson.
Do you remember back when like Emmanuel Lewis,
Webster? Yes.
When they were child stars, they were sheltered from the world.
Yep.
And so that's why they had a lot of life altering situations, because they were different from normal kids. They didn't go through the same things that normal kids did. But then, so when they got older, the worst things would happen to them, and you'd be like, damn, how'd it happen to you? These kids aren't sheltered as they were back then. So they're seeing in real time all of the craziness that goes on in the world. And instead of being like, oh, well, that's too much, I don't want to deal with that, they are leaning into the craziness. So it's like, it's generation things. That's why I say we can't teach our kids the same way our parents taught us. And then we try to be our kids' friends. All the while, we really be hurting our kids.
And for me, I have a difference of opinion in that. I was definitely a friend to my kids because, I had 3 kids by the time I was 19. We were married. But at the same time, I grew up with my kids too. My dad was a friend to us. But like I said, my dad was a pimp and a drug dealer, but I watched, he put his kids on a pedestal. So everywhere we went, he went. He told us about women. He told me what was going on. He said, I don't want you to be one of these. So what I'm doing is I'm going to teach you different. And I just listened and I learned. And he taught me how men do deal with women. I'm not saying all men, but the men that he knew and was around. And so I had an education. I had street education. I had a book education. I was very high in school as well. So I think there's a way that you can teach your kids that you kind of encompass all things. You don't have to consistently only teach them that there's one way to do things. You can include, hey, I don't want my kids to be book smart but street dumb, so that a dude comes and say a little something in their ear and then they go off la la land. Mm-hmm. I want them to have both. That's how I was taught, and so I think it may have been unconventional, but there's the ways that we can involve our kids in life education. And that is something that parents used to do. You can be their friends, but you also have to set boundaries. My kids knew we could laugh and joke, but they knew when the joking ends. Yeah. You cross the line into disrespect. That's when my boundaries kick in and you getting punished. So I think there's a fine line. My dad, he was a laugher, joker, all the stuff, but then he had rules and we respected him because we knew he loved us and cared about us. So I think that there's that fine line. You just have to make sure that you're teaching them, but also loving them and making them feel loved. Because that's the one big thing I learned as a speaker in the schools, that the kids weren't feeling heard, they weren't feeling seen, and they weren't feeling loved. And so that I had 14-year-old girls with HPV. I'm teaching sex education and things like that. I had these girls, 14-year-olds with warts, with HPV, with all these things that you could never get rid of for the rest of their life. They're looking for love.
They just gonna be burning men forever.
But,
all right, so you got time to go over one more video?
Yes.
All right.
I don't have no dates tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shoot. Well,
I'm fine.
we're gonna talk
I'm
about
ready.
that on
I'm ready. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.